of Virginia, Sheriff Glenn Hill, who's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Children, please remove your hats, please. Let's recite our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The born and the unborn.
Okay, folks, if I could have Marcus Lawyer come on up. He's going to sing the national anthem. Marcus is our vice chair, I was saying, being active in the Woodbridge District, and we're grateful to have him here today.
Good afternoon. If you're able, please rise and join me in the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So now, folks, I have the esteemed honor of introducing Prince William's favorite son and the chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia, Rich Anderson.
Fellow Prince William Republicans, fellow Virginia Republicans, thank you for being here today. Now, I have a task right now which I don't like doing, and it's introducing someone who needs no introduction. The individual that I'm about to introduce to you is Virginia's favorite daughter. A little story for you. When I received a telephone call from her in early 2021 telling me that she intended to run for Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, we had never met. I had heard her name as a member of the House of Delegates because she had formerly served in that body, but I had never met her. And the first time I met her was at a candidate function in this very building up on the next floor. It was a crowded field. And the moment I had the opportunity to talk to her, I knew this inner voice said to me, this is going to be the one. And she was part of that great team that astounded the nation in 2021. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege and high honor to introduce to you a groundbreaking leader for this Commonwealth of Virginia. She is a mom. She is a wife. She is a Marine. She is the first woman Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, the first woman veteran to serve in statewide office. She's my friend and your 42nd Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Honorable Youngkin-Sears.
Are we ready to win? I go any further, good afternoon. I was raised right, after all. Thank you all for coming out on this beautiful day. And I also want to recognize, where are my door knockers? Yes! Where are all the people who are making the phone calls? All right, well, you know. That means we need more door knockers, and we need more people making phone calls. How many of you have a bumper sticker? All right then. If they key your car, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. It's the price of freedom. Why? Because we will not be dictated to on who we will vote for and how we will display our support. Is that right? That's exactly right. Let me tell you something that you probably don't know. We have identified 500,000 plus Republicans who voted for us in 2021, but who did not vote the very next year in the congressional races. Did you? Yes, I know. Are you kidding me? That is not okay. That's exactly right. 500,000 plus Republicans. Why didn't they show up? Because those are the folks who only vote in a presidential race or a gubernatorial race. You could almost say they're like cicadas. They only come up during those 2 times, so we can't afford that anymore. Why? Because if they had voted in their numbers like they did for us, folks, we'd have got more people in Congress. We wouldn't have had half of the nonsense you're seeing. We would have a larger delegation. So we got to do better. And now you're asking me, well, how do we do that, Winston? Well, I'm used to answering hard questions. You must be in the media. We have to win. Let me tell you what I did. So, I signed up for an absentee ballot. That's right. Why? Because I believe in the process, and that's how they're winning. Let me tell you how. Once I signed up, I got a notice from my Office of Voter Registration. Do you know what it says? It's my mail. I can't tell you. It's all private, you know. Go to jail for stuff like this. All right. It says, effective immediately, you will automatically be sent absentee ballots for all elections. All elections. It says you will be sent a ballot for every special election. You will be sent a ballot for every primary election. You will be sent a ballot, ladies and gentlemen, for every general election. And I said, oh my God, that's how the other side is winning. Because they don't have to go anywhere. The ballot is sitting on their kitchen table. Because I'm asking, in a special election, they got thousands of voters for the Democrats in a special election? Yes, this is how they're doing it. So, Winsome being no fool, Winsome signed up for her absentee ballot. Well, guess what I have? An absentee ballot. Where is your absentee ballot? Do you have an absentee ballot? Folks, I'm looking at power. You see those little ovals? All this girl's got to do is fill them out and send them in. Do you have your... I'm telling you, if I have had my absentee ballot for 45 days, for an election that doesn't start until when? November. So from September until now, I have had a ballot, walking around with it. Power. Who do you think is most likely to vote? You. That's right, babies. I am most likely to vote because I have my ballot. I went to where did I go? My mailbox. I made sure I didn't have the house coat and rollers, you know. Everybody's got Ring now. And they'll say, is that the lieutenant governor? But this is not a joke, because let me remind you where we've come from. If you hadn't voted for us, we wouldn't be here. We would have had a totally different Virginia. Think about that. You all put us in office to change things, and we've changed things. Thank you. What do I mean? Well, let me start out with this. We are not going back.
That's right.
We are not going back to what 2021 was before you sent us into office. Why? Well, think about it. They closed our businesses.
Yeah, they did.
People lost their businesses. Family businesses were shut. I heard about people who committed suicide because their businesses were shut. People were raiding their 401ks because they had no income. Folks, the Democrats on the extreme left shut us down. We're not going back. Say it, we're not going back. They shut our schools down. First, what they did was they told us we had to wear a mask. And then we find out the mask didn't really work. Did not really work. And then, here's the thing. You were going into a bank with a mask on. Looking like a robber. It was okay. Well, they robbed our children of 2 years of their education. And when this governor came in, he changed everything. We're not going back. And they had a lot of surplus. Surplus means tax money. That's our money. And he tried to give it back to you. And they wouldn't. We're not going back. And then they wanted to defund the police. See, if we have short memories, we will lose. We can't afford to lose. They tried to defund the police. Wanted to send in social workers. And I love social workers. But there comes a time when we need our police. When I dial 911, I want to know I'm going to get a rescue. We're not going back. We're not going back. And then they said, you know the reason they said they lost? They said it's because they didn't go far enough. Think about that. They didn't go far. What is far enough? You want to know what far enough is? If we hadn't won, this state would have become Maryland. We don't want to be Maryland. Boo. Boo hiss. Hiss boo. Boo boo. We have to win. That's why, if you haven't voted already, please go down and vote now. We cannot go into the elections thousands of vote down like we have been before. Because you know what happens on election night? Let me tell you what happens on election night. You're so inquisitive. Folks, on election night, we win. We win. Wait a minute. But then you know what we as Republicans say? We say, absentee ballots haven't been counted yet. And you know what the Democrats say on election night? The absentee ballots are coming in. We can't afford to be on pins and needles on election night. We need to know we did everything possible to get everybody to vote. All voters in. If you're not going to do absentee ballot, go vote now. Vote early. Almost said often. No. Vote early. Vote early. That's someplace else. Vote early. Go now. They're open. It's Saturday. Vote now. Because we've got business we still have to accomplish. And when they're saying, and they look us in the face, look and they're so pleased with themselves. And they say, we don't want to give the governor a win, and so that's why they were holding up the budget amendment. What are you talking about? You have problems with the governor? You're playing with my tax money to do that? Are you lost? Listen, folks, the Democrats have lost their minds. But we're going to help them find it on election night. Onward to victory. Onward to victory. We have to get out there. We have to vote. What did I say? We got to vote. Why? Because we are charged with no less than preserving America for the next generation. Not just me. You know the part about of the people, for the people, by the people, y'all are the people. We're all in politics. So, what are we going to do? We're going to go vote. And we're going to grab some other folks and get them to vote. Unless, you know, they're the other side. Leave them. Leave them. But get some friends and get them to vote, because this is serious. We want to give you a permanent tax cut. We want to make sure that you're safe in your homes. We need the roads and the bridges and the schools. We need the businesses to come here. They need to know this will remain a right-to-work state, that they can invest their money, that they're the job creators. Government doesn't provide jobs, people. And we want to make sure we keep the House and we win the Senate back, because, frankly, I like when I look down, I see more Republican smiling faces looking back at me. And the other side can boo and hiss and whatever. But that's all right, because, folks, we will have one. Onward to victory. Yes? Victory!
Virginia was on fire for change. Virginia was on fire for common sense principles and policies, right? Well, guess what? We're going to get that in Prince William County too come November 7th. We are going to flip Prince William County's board and restore common sense. I am Janine Lawson, and I will be your next chair, and I promise we're going to restore power to the people here in Prince William County and bring common sense with it. Now, when I was asked to introduce our governor, I feel a great honor, and I told Rob, yes, I would love to introduce him. And Rob, I don't know where you are. Here's Rob. Rob, everybody give Rob a hand. Thank you for all you're doing for our party. I don't know when the man sleeps, because he is constantly emailing me and keeping me on my toes. But anyway, back to our amazing governor. You all remember 2 years ago, you felt that energy. And raise your hand if you were with me at the Marriott the night of the election when they called it for Governor Glenn Youngkin. There's a good number of people here. Do you remember the excitement and also the relief that we felt knowing that Governor Glenn Youngkin was going to bring power back to parents? How about that? Parents matter. This governor of ours is keeping every promise he made. He is doing an amazing job. he is connecting with parents, he's connecting with students, he's connecting with athletes, he's connecting with business owners, he's connecting with taxpayers. And it is my honor to introduce you to him right now. Give it up for Glenn Youngkin, our awesome Virginia governor.
How's everybody today? You know what time it is? It's time to win! That's what it is. Folks, God, I love this place. I remember campaigning here in 2021, and it was alive, and it's alive today. Thanks everybody for coming out, because we got big work in front of us. We got big work in front of us because we know we can do the work. We know how to win elections in Virginia. We proved that in 2021, and we're about to win a whole bunch of them this year right now. Folks, in 2021, we all came together in a way that nobody thought we could. Nobody thought we could, because Virginia, of course, was lost. The very first state called in 2020, Joe Biden, was Virginia. And that got me up out of my chair, and I said, there's no way that's the Commonwealth that I love, the Commonwealth that I was born and grew up in. That is not Virginia. And we came together in 2021, and we answered one question. Yes, we can win. That's the question we answered. Folks, we came together in a way that not only shocked the Commonwealth, it shocked the nation, because we stood up for law enforcement. We stood up for parents. We stood up for low taxes. We stood up for small businesses. We stood up for excellence in education. We stood up for common sense. That's what we did. Thank you for hiring. It is such a privilege to go to work every single day. You know, my day starts with prayer every morning, and I thank the Lord for putting me in this job every single day. And I ask Him for help. But I tell you what, what's amazing is I have the great privilege of living with the greatest First Lady in the history of this Commonwealth, Suzanne, and in a house that was basically procured to be built by Monroe. And I walk down the steps and I look at a Capitol that was designed by Thomas Jefferson. I take a right and I go work in the Patrick Henry building, and I'm reminded every single day of the giants, the Virginians that made not just this great Commonwealth, but made this country the greatest country ever, because these truths, these values are forever, that we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, this is at the heart of what we're up to. This is why we have to come together and finish the work that we started. You see, the big step we took in 2021 was to take a state that was truly blue, a state that had lost itself, a state that was being turned into California, a state that for 9 straight years more people moved away than moved here from the other 49 states. A state that was in the bottom third of job growth. A state where parents were being shoved out of their kids' lives and told, no, your kids belong to the state, not to you. A state that was telling law enforcement, we don't want you to do your job. We don't believe you in your job. And a state that was watching crime go through the roof, a 20-year high murder rate. And we turned it around like that, because on day one we went to work. Thank you for hiring Youngkin-Sears as our lieutenant. Thank you for hiring Jason Miyares as our Attorney General. Thank you for electing a majority in our House of Delegates. Folks, we went to work, and I'm telling sense can prevail. In 21 short months, Virginia went from being bottom third in job growth in those 21 months, number 3 in the nation in job growth. Number 3. A state that had more people moving away. In 2021, we were 31st in the nation in one-way U-Haul trips. That's a lot of people getting U-Hauls and going someplace else. We were right there with New Jersey and Illinois. Last year, we were 5th in the nation in one-way U-Haul trips. People are coming here. People are staying here. I drove by yesterday on 95. Yeah, I know, I'm on 95 too, just like all of you. I drove by on 95, one of those U-Hauls that had a front U-Haul and a back U-Haul, and it had a Florida license plate, and I knew they were coming here to live. This is what, folks, this is the new Virginia. It's a Virginia where people can believe in their future and trust in their future. A Virginia where you know that your rights are going to be protected by your governor, your lieutenant governor, your attorney general, by your elected officials, as long as they have an R next to their name. You know that we can get this done. But every day we go to work over the course of the last 2 legislative sessions, we have found the most amazing frustration that there's a liberal left Senate. There's a liberal left Senate that says no to common sense. They stand in the way. I put in a bill this past year that says if you are a drug dealer and you deal drugs and the person you deal them to dies, you should be charged with a felony homicide and you should go to jail for a long time. What is the Senate? What are the Senate controlled by the liberal Democrats do? They vote against that bill. They vote for dealers and against victims. It's the same Senate Democrats that was voting for criminals and against victims, why I had to fire the entire parole board and start all over again. I put in a bill that said that families matter, children matter, and social media companies should never be allowed to collect and harvest the data of our kids. And of course, what does the far left do in our Senate? They block that bill. They actually vote for social media over our kids. This is who we're dealing with. We fought over tax cuts. I put in $1 billion tax relief package. They put in 0. Guess what? We signed a bill 4 weeks ago for $1 billion in tax relief. That's what we did. We can get this done, but imagine how much faster we could go if we hold our house and flip our Senate. 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 I'll take 2 of those, please. This is what we got to get done. We have got great candidates. They have candidates who honestly have moved off the reservation to California. Anybody who worked with us in the last 2 legislative sessions to try to get things done was voted out. Chap Peterson from Fairfax County. We didn't agree on a whole lot, but we agreed on a few things. He worked with us to make sure we were empowering parents to get masks off kids. What happened to Chap? Got voted out. George Barker, who worked with us for tax relief. He worked with us to get $5 billion of tax relief. What happened to him? Voted out. They don't want any of this. They don't want what's good for Virginia. They want to keep their power to tell us what to do every day. This is why this matters so much. And we can get this done. We know how to win elections. And here comes the work. We have great candidates who are pounding the pavement. We know that people want to vote for common sense. Sometimes they just haven't been spoken to and listened to yet. I travel all around the Commonwealth, and the number of people who I meet who say, you know what, I didn't vote for you, but I like what you're doing, I'll vote now. We have flipped so many people to the land of conservative, common sense, and results. And so now we got to get the word out. We've got to get the word out. This is about winning. This is not about hoping. We got to do the work. Hope is not a strategy. We got to get it done. Here's what we know we got to do. First, I need folks to volunteer, to make phone calls, to write letters, to knock doors, to go be on sign patrol, to plant signs. We know all the great candidates here. They need volunteers. We need volunteers at the precincts. We need them to be standing there as greeters with a smile on your face saying, oh no, you need this sample ballot, not that one, this one. We need precinct volunteers who are going to work the elections. We need lots of folks to get trained up and work the elections. If you are a lawyer, I'm sorry, but if you're a lawyer, I'm not. But we need you. We had 500 lawyers staffed in 2021 across the Commonwealth, making sure that everything that happened on Election Day happened the way it's supposed to, and it did. That's why Jason Winsome and I won. Folks, we got to do it again. We need volunteers. Second thing we need is we need to show the spirit. That's signs in your yard, that's bumper stickers on your car, that's hats on your head, that's shirts that say, whatever your favorite candidate, Janine Lawson, got to wear these shirts everywhere we go. It shows people what team we're on, and they want to be on the winning team too. Third thing we got to do is get the vote out.
Yeah.
You heard Winsome. 500,000 people voted for Winsome. Jason and me didn't show up and vote in 2022. 500,000. Folks, that's crazy. That's why we are securing your vote, Virginia. If you have not voted, go vote. Something can happen on Election Day. Your kid could get sick. You could get sick. Something can happen at work. We can't afford it. We've got to get the votes counted. I'm telling you, it is working. I see the numbers every day. We are having just an amazing outpouring of participation. Go vote. Go to this website, secureyourvotevirginia.com. Make a plan to vote early. Winsome's already got our absentee ballot. Go vote.
Yes,
Finally, get 10 friends to go vote.
Yeah.
Go make a list. Your own list. Not 10 people who are here, but 10 other people who are going to vote the right way. And make them go vote. Keep track. Take responsibility. Own what's happening in your communities. This is how we win. Folks, we had record turnout in 2021. Everybody said, oh, Republicans don't like record turnout. We love record turnout because people vote the right way because they know that common sense will prevail and results matter. We're going to hold our House and flip our Senate. And here's why it's so important. We stand here today at a moment where not just eyes are on Virginia from inside Virginia, but from around the country. Why? Because we're about to demonstrate in 24 short months, in 24 months, a state that was lost can be found, that people can come together with a vision about making sure that Virginians can speak for themselves. They understand the basic liberties and freedoms that bind us together, these values that are at the core, not just of Virginia, but of the nation, and we can stand up and change the direction. No one believed it. Now everyone can believe it, and that's what people need. We need to show them that you can take charge and we can win. You know, when I signed that budget a month ago, I started my day in the Patrick Henry building. And I walked over to that amazing Capitol that was designed by Thomas Jefferson, and then I walked by the most amazing statue of George Washington, and I had to stop for a minute and catch my breath. I had to catch my breath, and I looked up and I said, Lord, how did I get here? Thank you for placing me here. Thank you for letting me sign this budget that I've been praying over for 10 months. A budget that, yes, gives money back to Virginians, but funds education, funds law enforcement, funds behavioral health. We can change the future of the Commonwealth. And I was struck by the clarity of these great founders of Patrick Henry and Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. I was struck by the voice and the pen and the sword. Of course, the voice who stood up and said, give me liberty and give me death. But more importantly, Patrick Henry stood on the floor of our General Assembly and he said, I will not ratify that Constitution until it has a Bill of Rights. A Bill of Rights to protect our individual freedoms from an oppressive government. That is at the heart of Virginia and the heart of our nation. And I thought about Thomas Jefferson and the most immortal words ever written in this hemisphere, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, They're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And this is what our entire nation is founded upon. Freedom and liberty to pursue your life, to chase your dreams, to bring up your children the way you think they should be brought up, not the way the state tells you to bring them up. And then I saw the amazing George Washington. I thought about the fact that he put down everything in his life and he went and served. And we had to fight for those freedoms. And we had to gain them. And we always have to remember that while they are granted by an almighty God, we must extend and protect them. We defend them. We protect them. And we advance them. They are not going to be here unless we do the work. That's what we're called upon to do. And that's what Virginians do. I am so proud to be a Virginian. I am so proud to serve all of you as your governor. And I am going to be triply proud when on November 7th we hold our house and flip our Senate. Folks, let's get this done and go win. God bless you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Marcus, great job. Thank you, sir. Excellent. Appreciate that.
I thought he did really good. He knows the right words.
Gun safe? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I was going to get a picture.
Look at the website.
I worked real hard.
a great day.